Leslie's Lament short story Antoni Kaore Amira Publishers 95220 ISBN Leslie's Lament. It was the Supreme Court, which was hearing murder cases. A silence so deafening that even a pin dropping could be heard pervading the entire hall. A man with unkempt hair, a beard covering his face, wearing long trousers and a short-sleeved shirt, and wearing a pair of sandals, sat among the onlookers in the courtroom. He looked so deranged that some might have thought he was crazy. The Supreme Court's scheduled hearing on that day had ended. The defendant, who had been charged with murder, was escorted away by prison officials. As the judge attempted to rise from his seat, the man, whose hair was not combed properly and whose beard was growing, rose from his seat and walked away without any discipline. He was arrested by security officers and taken to the courtroom. "Venerable sir, please examine my case and show me a way to find solace. Do you know that you committed a punishable offense for insulting the Supreme Court?" "Your Honor, I have not come here to insult the court. I know very well that this is a place where justice is served. I have come here to present an accusation against this lawyer. I did it this way because I had no other way to accomplish it. I don't think it would be useful for the court to talk to him or punish him for his contempt of court. He should be immediately taken under police protection to find out if he is mentally ill. I order that he be taken to a psychiatrist and that the report be presented when the court proceedings begin tomorrow morning." "Yes, Your Majesty." No, Venerable, I'm not crazy. I'm here to get my due punishment. I'm the one who killed her. Don't take me anywhere." That was all he could say. The next day, the Supreme Court reconvened. The judge was seated in the chair. The 7-member jury and the public who had gathered to hear and witness the case were calm in the courtroom. The previous day, Leslie Gage Oira was arraigned for contempt of court. Court interpreter presented the psychiatric report on Leslie to the judge. "I certify that the person you sent to me yesterday, Leslie Gage Oira, is currently suffering from a mental illness due to a cause that occurred more than 3 months ago. At the same time, I believe it is my duty to inform you of the following details about him. Shall we go and worship the sacred feet? I love it. I haven't been there in about 4 years. But why did you stop asking? No, how can I? I don't even have any good clothes to wear. Oh my, have I ever spoken to you without preparing any clothes for a trip like that? I didn't tell you that, did I? Leslie. I was thinking that if we were going like this now, it would be difficult to get any clothes ready, since the travel expenses would cost a lot of money. Ah. There's no point in talking about that. This afternoon, after work, we'll go and get you a nice garment, a pair of sandals, and the other things you need. Let's just have a little bit of that. Then would you like to come with me?" She didn't say anything, just smiled and agreed. "Isn't this garment nice? I like that garment more than that light blue one." "Okay, choose whichever one you like." "This is good for me." "Then let's buy it now." "What else?" "Tell whatever you want." "I don't need anything else right now." "Thank you very much, Leslie." "What do I need?" "Thank you. All I expect from you is that you will be by my side in my sorrows and in my joys." She smiled slightly as she hugged the parcel holding the garment and the parcel in her hand. "It's pretty cold, isn't it?" "Ah. Apply a little cinnamon oil to 2 pieces of cotton and put them inside your ears. Then you won't feel so cold. Now both my legs hurt a lot." "What are you talking about?" "Suvinit ha. Let's go with a happy heart." Let's pray that through this journey, all our sins will be forgiven, all obstacles will be removed, and a path will be paved for us to join a happy life. Then we will never make mistakes. It was the Waijura Industrial Estate. At 5 in the evening, the workers hurriedly arrived at the gate where the security officers were stationed for checking. Here is the one we wanted. You're the one we've been unable to catch for so long. Leslie was fired from his job on charges of trying to steal a trouser material. So what did you do? You stole. Don't you know that's wrong? The psychiatrist questioned him. What should I do? Gentlemen, my salary runs out before the first week of every month. Suvini Tar has pretended to love me for nothing. She has asked me for everything she wants. So when she gets everything, I don't even have money to go to work. What else can I do at that time? Gentlemen, it's easy to commit theft. I understand now that I fell into such mistakes because of that criminal girl. So what did you do after you lost that job? The psychiatrist asked questions. I tried very hard to find a job elsewhere. 3 or 4 places told me to bring my resignation certificate from Waijura Industries to accept the job. So I was unable to get a single job. While I was like that, one day I thought I should go and meet Suvini Tar. On that trip, the first thing I met was Jayalath. So how are you? Leslie. Hello Jayalath, you're just there, man. Didn't another job work out? Oh no, they're asking for a resignation certificate from everywhere. Let's go and have some tea. Jayalath invited him. They fell into conversation while drinking tea. So what now? What are you going to do? I don't understand what to do. I feel so sorry for you. If it's not that girl, you're very lucky. Don't say that. I didn't get into trouble because of her. It was my fault. Mei Chang, Leslie, don't be angry with me for telling you this. You may not know about Suvini Tar yet. But I have known about it for a long time. I didn't tell you about it at the time because I felt it was none of my business. What, you know about her? Leslie, do you think Suvini Tar loved you? I know she only loved the gifts she could get from you. That can't be happening, man. I know she loves me. That's how you think. That's why I didn't tell you about it before. Are you still dreaming about her? Come on. Forget about that woman for now and try to be a man. I don't understand what you're saying, Jayalath. What? Is she dating another guy? You won't believe me when I tell you. Go to the Sirayuwilla bus stop this afternoon and see. But don't do anything stupid like that. Forget all that and try to find a good job. Leslie felt an unbearable pain in his heart. That can't be. Suvini Tar would never do that to me. I never dreamed that she would change as she had wished for me when she went to Sirapada that day. Jayalath must be lying. Does he have any grudge against Suvini Tar? Who knows? It doesn't matter. In any case, I need to look into it today. Leslie began to think. He waited at the bus stop for a long time that evening, but Suvini Tar did not arrive. Where to go? A friend, Lau, asked Leslie. I'm not going anywhere, I'm just waiting for this friend to come. Who? Suvini Tar. Hearing Lau's question, he was caught in a dilemma. Why did you ask that? No, I thought you were still in love with her. He felt that he should meet Suvini Tar and make a decision. She had not yet arrived. He returned home with the intention of meeting her tomorrow morning and coming to some decision. Her house was about a mile from the main road where the buses ran. There was a footpath that could not be used by a vehicle. There were no more than 7 or 8 houses on the way from the main road to the house. Hoping to meet her the next morning, he hid behind a tree so that he would not be seen by the occasional passers-by on that trail. Ah. Suvainita, Mom, I'm a little scared, she said, startled. I came to see you several times, but I didn't see you. That's why I came early in the morning. So what now? Nothing yet. Why? You don't even write me a letter. I heard you got a good job and went somewhere. In the Batticaloa area. Leslie began to think about a way to ask her about the distrust in her heart. Is it true? Suvainita, your friend with someone else? Are you crazy? Leslie. Tell me the truth, Suvainita. I have loved only you for so long. I will love only you from now on. Promise me that you will never change from me, even in a dream. He begged. Oh, who? Who really lied to you? Several people told me that you should always talk to someone at the Ciruilla bus stop. That's my brother. Why? You believe everything they say. Don't I have the freedom to even talk to a man? Why are you asking me like that, Suvainita? You know how much I loved you, right? Leslie, put those things aside and talk about something else. Talking to you will only cause problems. Do you remember the things we thought about when we went to worship? So what am I supposed to do now? Are you telling me not to talk to anyone else? If you know me so well and are asking me this, what wrong have I done to you? Tell me, Suvainita. I didn't tell you anything wrong. Why do you believe every word and ask me questions? I won't ask you such things from now on, Suvainita. If I have wronged you, please forgive me. After saying goodbye to her, he began to reflect on everything that had happened. He began to wonder what to believe. Thinking that it would be wrong to make a decision without seeing anything with his own eyes, he reached the bus stop in the afternoon. He met Jailath. Where? Going. I came to meet Suvainita. Are you really crazy, Leslie? Aren't there other girls in this world? You've gotten into so much trouble because of her, but you're still going after her. No, man, I came here today to make the right decision about this. Look at that guy wearing the white shirt and brown pants, talking. He's the one she is dating now. Leslie felt unbearable pain. From the way Suvainita was talking to him, Leslie realized that she had a strong relationship with him. Let's go there and come back. What for? We're going there. You're pretty sure now, aren't you? Everything. That's true, man, but I want to show her that I saw this incident today. I will come with you, but on a promise. What is that? If you promise not to fight with her there, and if she doesn't talk, do not force her to talk. Okay, I promise. Leslie walked towards the Ciruilla bus stop with Jailath. Suvainita, who suddenly glanced at the two of them, was startled, and for a while she stared at Leslie's eyes, unable to do anything. She turned her eyes away and did not look at them again. As Leslie's pain slowly began to turn into anger, Jailath, who understood it, walked away with him and looked away. Forget all that now. There are enough girls in this world. No matter who talks about love today, every woman is a slave to money. So why? You think about her. Once you find a good job, those things won't be difficult. Only someone who has loved like that can understand the pain I'm going through. I know you're hurting. So what are you going to do now? Are you going to dwell on the past? That night, Leslie tried to sleep, but thoughts of Suvainita tormented him. He began to wonder if all the hopes he had held in his heart after going to worship with her were not only in his own mind. Oh, my mother and sister have not received any attention from me. Even so, if I go home, they will not throw me out. They treat me with as much love as they can. But what did Suvainita, who received so much attention from me and completely captivated my heart, do to me? I did everything for you, didn't I? So why did you give me such pain? All I asked from you was love to comfort my heart for the rest of my life. I feel like you gave me everything that was against the love that money in this world cannot buy, except for the immortal love I was hoping for. Leslie, forget about that and talk about something else. Talking to you will only cause unnecessary problems. He remembered what she had said. Oh, if you had told me those things before you started a relationship with me, this wouldn't have happened to me, right? You took everything from me and left me alone. I can't even sleep peacefully. Oh my God, what sin have I committed? Suvainita, I will give you time only today. When I met you yesterday morning, you asked me, right? Why? That you believe each other's words. Now I am sure of everything. Why did you lie to me like that? Why did you deceive me? Even though you took everything from me and took revenge on me, I will answer you tomorrow. I will come tomorrow morning, just as I came this morning. But I will not come in the way I have never come before. It is you who has destroyed my peace of mind. No one else. I will take that lost peace from you. Leslie began to think about everything. Unable to sleep all night, he got up in a rage and pulled out the dagger he had hidden under his bed. Suvainita, if I have wronged you, I am sorry. But there is nothing more I can do. If you had not deceived me, I would not have made this decision today. But tomorrow morning I will give you one more chance. If you can win from that chance, then win. But I don't think you'll ever talk to me again. If you recognize my pain, you won't feel any pain from this dagger of mine. You're the one who caused everything for so long. And you're the one who ruined my luck. I'll leave the decision I make tomorrow morning to you. Leslie waited for her on the deserted road that morning, unsure of what to do. Suvainita, I came today with a decision to leave. I'll tell you something, Leslie, don't bother me. We can be friends if you like. But don't come here just to take away my freedom. Why didn't you tell me about this before? You didn't remember to tell me about this until you had everything I had, did you? Don't just scold me. I didn't do anything. No matter what you do, you know how to talk, don't you? Who were you talking to when you left work yesterday afternoon? I told you, didn't I? Before. Don't come and take away my freedom. I lost my job because of you, you bitch. You lost your job because of your theft. How is that my fault? He pulled out the dagger he had hidden. I won't give you any more time. If you scream, I'll kill you. She was frightened and silent. Hearing a sound as if someone was coming, Leslie looked around the path. But there was no one. She tried to escape from him and run. But failing to do so, she began to wrestle with him. She wrestled with him and knocked the pen from his shirt pocket to the ground. He didn't realize it had fallen. Having rendered her entire body lifeless with the help of his dagger, he looked around again. Heaving a sigh of relief as no one was in sight, he put the bloody dagger into her handbag and, taking it with him, immediately set off for home. His mother and sister knew nothing about this. They could not pick out any difference in Leslie. But his older brother Lionel noticed something different. What happened, my brother? Leslie, who had snapped out of her thoughts with a sound, looked at her older brother as if in fear. What? What happened? Forgive me, brother. I made a big mistake this morning. He revealed all the details to Lionel. You're not my brother, why would you do such a sinful thing? Why are you criticizing me, brother? Everyone only sees my mistake. No one is looking into why I made the mistake. It doesn't matter. The court's decision will decide whether I should be hanged. I will be punished for the mistake I made at some point. I know I can't escape that punishment. But I made that mistake because of the mistake she made to me, right? Brother, you just stand here and don't scream. If your mother and sister find out about this, how will they tolerate it? I'll save you somehow. Brother, do you think you can save me? I'll even mortgage this land to save you. First tell me, is there any chance that anyone will distrust you? If I don't say anything, I think it happened in a way that no one can prove. Are you sure nothing belonging to you fell there? I can't believe the pen my brother gave me fell there. Do you remember that pen I gave you? Yes, sure. The next morning, Lionel went to see Advocate Sureska regarding his brother's situation and sought a way to save him. Do you have any letters that Suvainita sent to prove she had an affair with him? That's right, gentlemen. Keep them all safe. If that pen fell there, the only evidence the prosecution has is that pen. You're sure that Lionel's pen is the same as the one he had in his hand, right? Yes, exactly like that. Then keep Lionel's pen in your hand. If the police ask you who the pen you found belongs to, tell them it was a gift you gave her when you were with her. Remember to answer the police without implying that she is dead or that you know about her death. Leslie could have escaped because you brought this bag. Suvainita's bag, which Leslie had taken, contained a diary, 4 letters from her new boyfriend, Emil, and a love letter written to be given to him the following evening. In the letter she had written to her new boyfriend, she had hinted that she might be in some trouble with Leslie Gage O'Meara, even though she had not told him yet. According to the letter, Sureska, the lawyer, confirmed that she had not written or said anything suspicious about Leslie. Anyway, Leslie, don't be afraid of anything. Tell me you didn't make that mistake and don't know anything about it. I'll do the rest. Is Leslie Gage O'Meara there? Yes, there is. Her mother replied to the police officer. We're going to ask for a little bit of advice. Please come and see the police. He left with the police officers. Do you know a young woman named Suvainita Rimalasiana from Sierra? Yes, where does she work? At the Wajuira Industrial Complex. How do you know her? I also worked in that factory. And I also had a love affair with her. Isn't that related now? After I lost my job, I didn't go to see her. I didn't write a letter either. If I wrote a letter and went to see her like that, there's a chance that the relationship will start again. Are you telling the truth? Yes, why do you ask that? We have news that you went to see her the day before yesterday as well. Oh no, I haven't seen you say that in months. Then whose pen is this? I had 2 pens like that, and I gifted one to Suvainita. I have the other one. The police went to great lengths to examine the fingerprints on the pen found on the ground. However, the pen that she had caught in her hand while struggling with him only bore her fingerprints. The case regarding the murder of a young woman named Suvainita Rimalasiana was presented before the Supreme Court. The lawyer who represented Emil and led the prosecution spoke first. In fact, it is clear that Leslie had been in a romantic relationship with an expired young woman named Suvaini Tarimalaciana some time ago. But in the end, she had a relationship with Emil. The reason for this must have been that Leslie lost his job for stealing from the Wajuira factory. Suvaini has told Emil that she had distanced herself from Leslie to protect her honor, even though they were in a romantic relationship. We can all accept that. They both worked in the same place. Shocked by Leslie's shameful act, Suvaini made a different decision. She has told Emil several times that after this happened, Leslie went to see Suvaini several times, begged her to take pity on him and forgive him, and asked her not to forget him and not get involved with anyone else. Emil now presented evidence that Leslie had come to the bus stop to meet Suvaini the evening before the murder, and that she had stopped talking to him at that time, so he went in a different direction with a friend named Jailath. But we really have no written evidence against this. However, we cannot accept that the crime was committed to find something that Suvaini had. It is also clear that there was nothing of value in her bag in terms of money. If there was anything in it, things could have been unfavorable for Leslie. Otherwise, there could not have been anything of value in any other way. Almost everyone at Wajuira Industrial Estate testifies that the pen found at the scene of Suvaini death did not belong to her, but to Leslie. Even her parents say that Suvaini did not have a pen like that. Based on the above, it is clear to all of us that there is some mystery behind this incident. Therefore, I further request the assistance of the police and the CID to conduct a comprehensive investigation into this matter and ensure that Leslie is given the appropriate punishment for the crime he has committed. Advocate Sureskara began his speech on behalf of the defense, taking Leslie's side. Now, according to the complaint, we have no evidence. They are really trying to take revenge on a personal issue with Leslie. Emil says that she told him about the harassment Leslie had caused Suvaini The relationship between Emil and Suvaini actually began after Leslie resigned from the Wajuira factory. That is, according to Emil, after Suvaini became angry with Leslie. After Suvaini started a relationship with Emil, she wrote several letters. And he replied to them. But why didn't Suvaini mention anything about Leslie in any of her letters? If Leslie had threatened her, surely something like that would have been written in a letter, right? If there had been no correspondence between them, we would have forgotten it. But it is certain that they had corresponded. Emil had presented letters he had received from her to show that he had had a romantic relationship with her. What actually happened was that after losing her job, Leslie forgot all about it. What kind of love affair is there when you don't have a job to live on? Since Leslie didn't come to meet her or write a letter, Suvaini must have put them aside and become friends with Emil. When Emil heard that she had an affair with Leslie, he had the idea of taking revenge on Leslie. That is why I assure you that this case has been filed to take revenge on Leslie. It is clear that Suvaini was killed because someone wanted to get something valuable from her bag, not because of something like this. If a murder were committed for such a trivial reason, no one can say that the person was trying to take her bag. Then this must have been a well-organized act. There is no evidence that it was done in such an organized manner, right? Emil is the only one who suspects Leslie of this. At least her parents or the villagers don't suspect him. Leslie had a romantic relationship with her, but it certainly didn't go too far. Her parents don't know about this. Suvaini had a relationship with Leslie. But her parents know that she had a relationship with Emil. That is, things that happened within a period of 2 or 3 months. It is clear that the romantic relationship that Leslie had with her for several years did not go that far, and he was not obsessed with it, right? Is there any chance that a love affair that was so reckless would lead her to make a decision to end her life? The only thing found at the scene of the murder is a pen. Everyone in the factory says the pen belongs to Leslie. And Sue Vinita's parents say that she didn't have a pen like that. But Leslie's pen is with him. It is said that Leslie had 2 pens, one of which was the same color, and that he gave one of them as a gift. We can certainly accept that. If it was really Leslie's pen, it should have at least one of his fingerprints on it, right? Based on these facts, I assure you that Leslie is someone we all deserve sympathy for, not someone we should distrust or blame. The 7-member jury considered the case. There was no evidence to support any action against Leslie. According to the testimony of Advocate Suraiskara, Leslie's accuracy was also approved by the jury. Leslie Gage Oira was released. Why aren't you sleeping, brother? I can't sleep, brother. Look, this is because of the mistake you made. Why didn't you think about it before making that mistake? I remember well that I suffered like this for a night before I made that mistake. I fell into this misery because of the wrong decision I made, thinking it would save me from suffering. Now go to sleep without screaming here. Brother, I don't understand. What should I do? I feel like I need something. It's like a fire is burning inside my heart. What are you telling me to do now? I did the best I could for you. Brother, just as that lawyer proved that I was innocent and saved me, can't you find someone who can save me from this fire in my heart, brother? You should have thought about everything before it happened. Haven't you learned that if a man kills another man who has the same rights as him, human blood will be avenged against the murderer? Brother, I can't bear the sadness in my heart. Find me a way to find some solace. Lionel understood his brother's pain and began to think for a moment. Why did you save me from the punishment I was deserved? If I had accepted that punishment happily, I don't think I would have to suffer this pain. I don't want anything else, brother. That's the right punishment for me. The judge, who read the psychiatric report, pardoned Leslie Gage Oira for contempt of the Supreme Court, based on his mental state. Venerable sir, don't forgive me. I am a murderer even though I am like this. Even if you forgive me, I cannot enjoy that forgiveness. Punish me for the wrong I have done. The judge, wondering what kind of decision he should make, looked first at the advocate Suraiskara, then at the jury, then at Leslie Gage Oira.